I'm infuriated. I get emails every day from frontline healthcare workers about what they are seeing, the trauma that they are enduring, the hundreds of Albertans that they're seeing in ICUs and hospital beds struggling with COVID-19 because this government chose to take a gamble on being open for summer and hoping to resurrect the Premier's political career. And since then, we have watched these MLAs, every MLA, minister, the Premier himself, fighting about their own political survival while our healthcare system collapses under the crisis they created. So, I'm furious. And I think that is the righteous fury of every Albertan who has done the right thing, who stepped up and got vaccinated, who followed the public health orders, who has written to this Minister of Health, who has written to this Premier, who has written to every one of these 60 UCP MLAs, crying for them to take action, and having been turned a deaf ear, and a Premier, a health minister, and a caucus that goes into hiding to fight amongst themselves instead of finding the courage to actually come together and do the right thing for the people of this province. That's unacceptable. I think we need to get some clarity on where we actually are. Indeed, with the revelation that the Premier has turned down healthcare workers who were already assembled. They had done the planning, they had done the work, they were ready to get them on a plane to come to Alberta, and the Premier said, "Nah, we good." We need to see the modeling that is justifying him making that kind of decision when our frontline healthcare heroes are saying they are sinking under the waves. So what I want to hear this afternoon is this Premier's plan to put an end to this. So far, he has implemented a few measures. A vaccine passport system, which we found out now that his own caucus went out of their way to undermine. So we need to hear from him today what he's going to do to step up, to make sure these things are effective, how he's going to put in place enforcement, and what work he is going to do to up the vaccine uptake in the province of Alberta. We've presented a number of concrete measures he can take. I'll be looking forward to see if he has the courage to do so today. You know, I find it deeply troubling that in the midst of a crisis their government created, the focus of UCP MLAs and apparently the new Minister of Health is to use this crisis as an excuse to expand the opportunities for private profit in our public health care system. Let's be clear, the problem here is not that we didn't have thousands of ICU beds sitting and waiting for Albertans to come and die in. The problem is that this government, for its own political advantage, chose to play chicken with the Delta variant, despite the fact that medical experts spoke up and warned them what was coming, and then went into hiding for the entire month of August while this crisis built. They chose to overwhelm our ICU beds, our healthcare system. They chose to crash and collapse it and to cause untold suffering for hundreds of Albertans and make life miserable for our frontline healthcare workers who are having to deal with the effects. That is not solved by creating more private care beds. That is not solved by just saying we need to have endless capacity for suffering. A responsible government would have stepped up to prevent this in the first place. And let's be clear, the record of the UCP on our public health care system is undermining it, underfunding it, and attacking the healthcare workers who make it possible. So I can't see this now as anything but cover for trying to distract from their own lack of leadership, their utter failure on this fourth wave, and for their own desire to continue to expand their political ideology.